For real this time?
For real.
Okay. Hi, Internet. How's it going? I'm Adam.
And I'm Jessica.
And welcome to another episode of On Our Screen. What are we watching today, sweetie?
Today we are watching The Great Gatsby. It is the Baz Luhrmann version, starring Tobey Maguire, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Carrey Mulligan, based on the F. Scott Fitzgerald novel.
Okay. I haven't seen the movie, so this time I'm going into it blind. What's the story about?
It's about the Jazz Age, and this guy Gatsby and Tobey Maguire's character tries to figure out who he is and learn his backstory a little, because no one at the beginning of the movie, no one knows who Gatsby is. He's just some rich guy that throws a bunch of really big parties in the 20s, and so this is kind of learning about him.
Okay, so it's a mix between Ken Burns' Jazz and Citizen Kane.
But not at all.
Well, that's what you made it sound like. It's Ken Burns' Jazz meets Citizen Kane.
Basically, there's a lot of 1920s themed parties, but with some modern music. So if you're looking for a jazz soundtrack, this isn't it. Okay.
The only other thing I'd learned in research is that it has a 7.3 on IMDb and a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it won 2 Oscars for costumes and production design.
Yep. A lot of Baz Luhrmann's films do actually win costume design awards, so yay. It'll be pretty, is what we're telling you.
Pretty, if nothing else.
Yes.
Okay.
So, pull up your cocktail glasses and join us on our screen.
Alright, let's get this party started. And play. Old-timey film. Warner Brothers logo. Is that it?
That was the movie, yeah.
Such a pointless movie.
It's not a pointless movie.
It was so incoherent, incohesive.
Well, that's just because
it didn't make sense.
That's just because it's Baz Luhrmann, and the Tobey Maguire narration is awful.
I like Tobey Maguire. I think he's a bit of an underrated actor. Aside from his lips, he always looks like his mouth is open. I don't know what's up with that, but I think he's a decent actor. I don't know why people give him shit. He's a decent actor.
He's okay. It's just he's always Tobey Maguire. It's Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire as Nick Calloway. It's not. He doesn't become the character. He's
not a method actor.
No, but he doesn't.
Speaking of method actors, what is it with Leonardo DiCaprio and only starring in movies that are 3 hours long?
He is the character.
I can't think, off the top of my head, I can't think of any movie that he's been in that's ever been 90 minutes long. He's always in movies that are 2.5 to 3 hours long. Every movie I've seen him in.
Yeah, and I can't help you with that, because I only know him from long movies too.
Titanic. Well, what was the one he did? Django Unchained.
Okay, and some of those.
This one.
But some of the directors he's worked with in the past, they have long movies. Baz Luhrmann's movies tend to be about 2.5 hours.
Even The Revenant was 3 hours long.
Right. So I don't know. Maybe he just likes to. I
think Leonardo DiCaprio just likes to hear himself talk.
I think he's a good actor. He's definitely better than Tobey Maguire.
He is a good actor, definitely better than Tobey Maguire. I'll give you that much. But
Thank you.
I don't know what his deal is. I think that's it. I think he just likes to hear himself talk. I think that's it.
But anyways, what'd you think about this movie specifically?
This movie specifically, as somebody who likes film, I can see why this movie was nominated for so many awards. I think it was nominated for over 100 different awards, not just like Oscars, but just throughout several other different circles. And it's easy to see why. The cinematography is great. There's a lot of great camera shots in it. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, it's, you know, I'd say it's worth watching. I didn't really like the choice to put modern music in a timepiece.
See, I'll actually defend that for once. That this is a choice I'll defend, because the Roaring '20s were all about what's modern, what's new, what's exciting, and so putting in modern music, it kind of fits with that.
No, it kind of made it a little unsettling. Like these two things don't go together.
See, that was one of the things I really liked about it the first time I saw it.
I'll admit, like, the first time I heard it, like, I think the first instance of it is like a Jay-Z song, and I don't remember which song it is.
He's a producer in this.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, hey, that's kind of cool. But as the movie goes on and you hear it more and more, it's a little disheartening, because, well, I don't know if that's the right word, but it's a little awkward because you hear music that you recognize alongside, you know, costumes, clothes, decorations that you don't recognize, and you're like, these two things don't go together.
It's a little disjointed. I think where it works best.
Disjointed, that's the word I'm looking for.
Where it works best is at Gatsby's parties, or if you've got, you know, it's the party scenes where that works best, because everything's supposed to be fast and fun and exciting, so that's what's going on there. It's like, I get the music choice, but I also like that they did include some actual jazz songs from the 1920s, like Rhapsody in Blue is in there,
Right.
Which is like the quintessential jazz song from that era, so it's good that that was mixed in there too. But you're right, like the juxtaposition of those with like sets and costumes and everything else is like very period, and then there's the modern music, and it's I
Like
can see
it doesn't fit together. I think if they had stuck with just 20s music, this movie would have gone much farther, because it does have. I never read the book, but I assume that this is pretty similar.
The book is very similar. I'd say the biggest liberty that's taken with the book and between the book and the movie is that Tobey Maguire in an insane asylum framing
that
thing.
really threw me off.
It's really weird.
There's
it's
no
awkward.
explanation given as to why Tobey Maguire is in an insane asylum and why the entire story is told in flashbacks about like him remembering Gatsby.
No.
But
I think
it did really remind me in that regard of Citizen Kane, because that's exactly how that story is told. Is he dies, and then a bunch of reporters go out and try to piece together from people who knew him who he really was.
And maybe that's what Luhrmann was going for, or it was to keep some of the really good language and sentences that were in the novel, because a lot of what Tobey Maguire is saying in those voiceover narrations or in that framing device are sentences from the book that otherwise there's no real way of getting in there. So I'm guessing it was somewhere between that and possibly a callback to Citizen Kane. Maybe. Assuming it was that thought out, that was a call to Citizen Kane.
Maybe Tobey Maguire just likes to hear himself talk.
Well, I don't think the framing device was Tobey Maguire's idea. I think that was very much...
I'm trying to be funny here. I'm trying to tell a joke about, like, hey, maybe every actor in this movie just likes to hear themselves talk. Whatever. It's okay. I know I'm hilarious.
He's not.
I am. I have a letter from the president to prove it.
I would like to see this letter. You keep telling me you have one, and I don't have. I've never seen it.
That's it. As soon as I'm done filming this, I'm writing the president a letter.
So the only thing you liked was that it ended.
Yeah. Well, maybe not the only thing. Like I said, there were some really cool camera, shots in there. I thought that it was edited pretty well. But that was about it. I would say, unless you're a huge Leonardo DiCaprio fan or a real big fan of the original novel, The Great Gatsby, this is easily skippable.
Or I would also say you need to see it if you are a costume person. The 1920s. The costumes are amazing. It's why it won an Oscar for the costumes.
I think it won an Oscar because it had Leonardo DiCaprio in it, and the Academy
The
of
costumes are
Arts
amazing.
and Sciences, or whatever it is, said, hey, it's got Leonardo DiCaprio in it, and he's not great enough in this role to be Best Actor, but we gotta give the movie something. So they gave it something small like costumes.
Okay, first of all, costumes make or break a movie.
No, they don't.
They do. They just do.
I swear to God, actors could go in there and act naked, and people would pay more to see their favorite actors naked.
Well, that might be true. But costumes are an important part of the movie. They're integral to setting character and everything. But we'll debate
If setting is
this.
important. If it's not important, then
It's important. Always.
alright.
Anyways, so I like it. I'll defend some of the music choices and everything. I think it's actually a fairly decent adaptation of the novel, and that it keeps that pace. That being said, I think Baz Luhrmann missed the point of the story, which is why it doesn't translate very well in film.
What was the point of the story?
It's just kind of like a sad story about Gatsby and love and how you can't go back. I think one of Tobey Maguire's...
That's the exact story of Citizen Kane.
Except this is more fun to watch.